Hey, Brewski, I'm in my zone like a 2-3. Would sue me, urban gorilla, no Gucci. Yeah, the scriptures I be kicking like Bruce Lee. Check my precepts, raw than sushi. Summertime, so I stay in the cool B. On the corner throwing bumps like I'm Drew Brees. Yeah, tap out for your how we bringing them gas out. Cut a heathen cause he running his fat mouth. Off the dribble, I be balling like.
Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Do so in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We are the SICARII, we are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to bring the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans back to their actual biblical identities, which are the Israelites of the Bible.
That's right.
So, you know, as people may know, we're going into what they refer to as Black History Month, right? So, in the spirit of that, wanted to bring out some black history, because when you let these schools and other people teach your children or teach you about black history, they don't go past anything beyond slavery, right? So you want to go and bring that up?
This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right, so the Most High God, right, brought these people out of bondage, out of Egypt, right? Right, and when you look at Egypt, when you look at the ancient depictions of the Egyptians, right, these are dark-skinned people, right? Right, so you get a group of people going into Egypt, spending about, right? They spend a lot of time in Egypt, right? You would think mingling with these people, right? You think they come out with, at the very least, with some melanin, right? But we all know they went in, they already went in with melanin, right? Got that? All right, let me get Exodus 4 and 6.
This is Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Right, so the Most High told Abraham that his seed was going to go into Egypt for 400 years, right? In the same land that the Most High, what's going on, man? What's going on with the door? Hey, what's going on with you? Are you looking at these signs, man? What you think about it? Well, anyway, man, so like the Most High was telling Abraham, right, that Israel was going to be in Egypt 400 years, right? So obviously, 400 years, you're going to end up mixing with the people, right? When you look at the narrative, what's going on, guy, with the umbrella? What do you think about these signs? Well, when you look at the depictions of the Egyptians, like I said, these are dark-skinned people, and when you look at the narrative of the children of Israel going into Egypt, they went in not a large group of people, right? It went in about 70 souls deep when they came in there, right? And became a nation in Israel, mingling with the people, right? So they come out, so they went in mingling, and they went into Egypt, started mingling with dark-skinned people, right? And then when they came out, they had to share some kind of resemblances to these Egyptians, right? You got it? Let me get Numbers 12 and 10. You got revising. Got it?
This is Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
Right. So he told. So you get a lot of people the narrative about the Israelites, right? About the people, the chosen people, right? Saying that they're white and whatnot, right? But just a few precepts, we just showed you that these people are melanated.
This is verse.
No, finish it.
Okay. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Right. So he put it. So when Most High had Moses put his hand in his shirt, right? And when he pulled it out, it wasn't the same color as the rest of his body, right? It'd be a shocking revelation if that ever happened to me, right?
Verse 7, and he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Right, it was turned again as his other flesh, right? Letting you know that these Israelites that were brought out of Egypt were melanated people, right? They were so-called black people, so-called Latino, right? Right? And this is who we preaching to, right? You got it? 10. Numbers 12 and 10. Let me get Song of Solomon 1 and 5 and 6. Right, so so they came out with resemblance, right? Obviously, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for white people to leave out of Egypt, which is like I think that's a physical impossibility in itself. For white people to come out of Egypt, or at least for God to tell Moses to put his hand in his shirt and pull out as a white man, and he pulls it out and it's white. Like, doesn't make any sense, right? You got that? 12 and 10.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 10, in the New Revised Standard Version. When the cloud went away from over the tent, Miriam had become leprous.
Right. So this is in this instance, right? Miriam and Aaron, they were talking about Moses, right? They were getting on his head, talking about him having an Ethiopian wife. They were jealous of him at this time, right? And the Most High came down and he punished Miriam, right? Can you read that?
When the cloud went away from over the tent, Miriam had become leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned towards Miriam and saw that she was leprous. Then Aaron said to Moses, "O my Lord, do not punish us for a sin."
No, read this. So I read the revised English.
Repeat it again, 10?
Yeah.
This is Numbers chapter 12, verse 10 in the Revised English Bible. And as the cloud moved from the tent, there was Miriam, her skin diseased and white as snow.
Right. So the Bible right here just said Miriam's skin was diseased when it was white. Right. It was diseased. Right. So I don't know what these people are proud about. The Bible says their white skin is a disease. Right. That's what the Bible just called it.
When Aaron, turning towards her, saw her skin diseased, he said to Moses, "My Lord, do not make us pay the penalty of sin. Foolish and wicked though we have been, let her not be like something stillborn, whose flesh is half eaten away."
They just need 12. They just need 10.
Okay,
Well, yeah. So let me get Ezekiel 20:32. Well, yeah. So the Bible's saying, man, when you got white skin, man, it's the equivalent to a disease, man. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to have white skin, right? When you think about it, man, like the world itself is against you when you got pale skin. You don't have any melanin in it, right? The sun is against you itself, man. You get skin disease, right? Cancer, skin cancer, right? Sunburn and whatnot, right? You got that? Songs of Solomon. 1 and 5 and 6 and 6.
This is Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Right? So we got an Issacharite sister right here, right? So-called Mexican sister, right? Saying she's black but comely. She's black and beautiful, right? Hey, my guy. Can I ask you a question, man? What do you think about Black History Month? You think it's good? Do you know anything about black history before slavery? Have no idea?
Yep, Timbuktu. It's a beautiful learning center for Islam.
For Islam?
Yep.
Where was it?
It's Africa.
So you're saying black people came from all over Africa? The slaves came from all over Africa?
But I'm specifically saying that there was a learning center that was smashed. Like,
Well, hey, come here, man. Hey, come here. Let me talk. Let's talk about it. Got 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes.
All right. Hey, come on over here, man. Come on up here. Okay? So what were you saying? What was you saying about it?
Timbuktu.
Uh-huh.
Islamic Learning Center was smashed in the Dark Ages. Christianity smashed it.
Right.
And they want us to all believe that none of them from Africa was learned, or it was all what? Tribal.
Right.
It wasn't all tribal, man. Just like American natives here.
Yeah. Well, are you native?
Nope.
No. What's your name?
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Oh, from Europe and stuff.
From the Israels, yep.
From there, that's your family history. Your father started. Yeah. So, well, what we out here doing is teaching the Bible, right? And that the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Which Bible?
I mean, there's only one Bible.
Nope, there's not only one Bible.
What other
King
Bible?
James branched off from it, and it bastardized it.
What do you mean? How?
The King James Bible? Are you serious,
How?
bro? It was invented in the 1800s because King James wanted to divorce his fucking wife, and so they rewrote it.
That wasn't King James that did that. That was
Okay.
King Henry wanted to divorce his wife. It wasn't King James.
All right, go on. So then, how is there only one version of the Bible if it's been
No, I'm not saying.
rewritten
I'm not saying.
multiple
No, there are multiple versions, but there's only one Bible. They all get translated from one document, one source.
times? And who wrote that one?
Israelites.
You're right, the Hebrews did. And go on.
And that the people that you see on this sign right here, the so-called the slaves who were brought over here, the people and the natives of the Americas, the people that you oppressed,
Yep, we
are
did.
the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel, right? This Bible belongs to us. It's our history, right? And because of your oppression against our people, your people have to pay. You and your people have to pay for that.
Right.
Absolutely. You don't think you can just go around murdering people and just get away with it?
So
That's right.
that was what, a couple hundred years ago? My beliefs alive then are a little bit differently. I'm clearly here now. We all are.
Yeah, you know why you're here, right?
Yeah, because my grandparents came over from Portugal in what, the early 1900s?
Well, yeah, because the Portuguese that came over here, they raped, robbed, and murdered the natives,
them did,
and
yeah.
and they laid the foundation for you to come over.
All right, so what's your ultimate point, though?
Is that you're going to go into slavery? Thus saith the Lord.
That's right. This is Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Because your people let my people into captivity, right? That's why when you go down to Brazil, they speak Portuguese, right? Right? They
What
speak
is
Portuguese.
all of this based off of?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right? And then your people killed my people with the sword.
Where's your religion taken from?
This isn't a religion.
It's not. It wasn't taken from Zoroastrianism back from like 6,000
This
BC.
isn't a religion.
What?
Zoroastrianism. Look it up.
What's-
All of this is based on other religions.
This isn't a religion.
There's your 5 minutes.
That's rhetoric. That's rhetoric.
Exactly.
Not rhetoric. Feel free to Google. It's all there.
Show me any civilization back then, please. That's ridiculous.
Wickedness of the white man. The wickedness of the so-called white man. Right? You had a precept? You said you had a precept for him?
Yeah.
You bring it out.
This is Job 27:14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword.
Hold on, read that again. Read that again.
If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword.
All right, so all these people that did our people wrong, every single last Caucasian, every last white person, the colonizers, right? Every one of them. If they have children, it's for what?
It is for the sword.
It is for the sword, man. Cannon fodder, right? Sword food, right? That's what it's for, right? Man, the Most High's got a judgment for these people. You got Ezekiel? You got that in Ezekiel? Ezekiel 20:32. Well, yeah, man. Let's get back to it. You still got that? Songs of Solomon, right? So read that from the top. All right, read what our beautiful so-called Mexican sister was saying about herself.
This is Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar,
Yeah, keep going.
as the curtains of Solomon. Verse 6. Look not upon me, because I am black.
Right? Don't look on her just because she's black, even though she is a dark-skinned sister, beautiful as hell,
Because the sun hath looked upon me.
right? Because the sun looked upon her, right? You get some blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans together, put us out in the sun, we gonna get darker, man.
My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards. But mine own vineyard have I not kept.
Right. Hey, man, death to you, bro. Right. You get ready for slavery. Right. Right. Let me get Hosea 4:6. Right. You got it. 20:32. Yep.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say.
Right. So the Most High is telling us, man, we got this desire. We got this desire that we have in our heads, right? And he's telling us that no matter how much we desire it, it will not come to be. So what is it that we desire?
We will be as the heathen.
Read that again. We will be as who?
we will be as the heathen.
So, man, our desire is to be as the other nations, man. Running away from our melanin, right? Getting away from our ancestors. Not wanting to be the Israelites that we are, right? Black power, black pride, right? Mexican pride, right? What about brown pride, right? What about Israelites, right? What about the tribe of Judah? What about the tribe of Issachar, right? What about the tribe of Zebulun, right? The tribe of Gad, what about them? What about that? What about what God called you, right? And not what your oppressor called you, right? Our idea is to take pleasure in the name that our oppressor has given us, right? Hosea 20. All right, cool. Yeah, you can keep reading.
And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
Right? So we want to be just like them in every way. Right? We want to be just like the white man in every way. Right? We envy these people. Right? We look at them as superior to the detriment. Our brothers look at their women as superior. Right? Their women our women look at their men as superior. Right? Yeah, that was her. That was her. Right? Let me get Lamentations 5 and 10. Right? Get that? Hosea?
That was her. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Wait. We're destroyed because of what?
For lack of knowledge.
We're destroyed from a lack of knowledge, man. We forsook the lessons and the history that our forefathers left us, man. We said to hell with that and decided to be like our oppressors, like the heathen, right?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Right? And because we rejected the Most High has rejected us.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Right? Because of that, the Most High has turned his back on us, right? Although he hears our sighing and crying, he is not paying attention. He's not paying it any mind, right? Because you want to be so much like the heathen, right? What's going on, brother? Hey, brother, can I ask you a question? Can you show me black history but beyond the slavery? No? Man, our people are destroyed out here, man. What's going on with you? You okay? You listening to what we're saying? What's your nationality?
Hispanic.
You Hispanic? From what country?
Costa Rica.
From Costa Rica? Wait, all praises. Right? So you be an Israelite according to the Bible. You ever hear anything like that? Right? So according to the Bible, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. Right? So you know how they talk about the Jews and how they're God's chosen people? Right? It's not white people, it's actually us. Right? And for us to get the salvation that is also spoken about in the Bible is exclusively for us. It doesn't pertain to anybody else. Right? So when they talk about how it's for everybody, right? Because a lot of our people have a problem with white people not being saved. Right? What do you think about that, sister?
I think you're white who are saved.
Huh?
I think there are whites who are saved.
Who are saved? But I can show you. But the Bible says that salvation is only for the children of Israel. It's only for us.
Okay, Israelites were white.
Huh?
I think the Israelites were white.
No. The Israelites are actually melanated people.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was just talking about, when the Lord brought Moses and the Israelites out of Egypt, right? The Egyptians would be considered black people, right? So with the Israelites spending 400 years in Egypt, right, and Israel only had 12 sons. They had to procreate with the Egyptians, with the local population. So they had to come out dark-skinned people, right?
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, so how did they go from dark-skinned people to white people? They don't. That's right. That's right. They don't. They don't, right? So these people have been perpetuating a lie, right? It turns out that you're an Israelite, right? So you're not Costa Rican. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Zebulon.
Right.
Right? That's Richport too? Costa Rica? Richport? Yeah, so do you know what Costa Rica means in Spanish?
Freedom.
It means freedom? Costa Rica means freedom? Right? I thought it means like rich coast. Rica, right? Because Puerto Rico, it means rich port. So Costa Rica, I don't think it doesn't sound anything like freedom. It sounds like a rich coast. Right? Spanish came in, took all your money, took all the gold. Right? Took all the gold. Gave you a Spanish last name, Costa Rica, gave you a Spanish, renamed your country, right? Took your culture away from you. You think they gotta pay for that?
I don't.
You don't think so? Why not? Nasty? Yeah, I mean, if I came and took something from you, you would desire some kind of recompense, right?
Maybe we don't want it all together.
Some kind of justice.
We don't want it all together.
Hey, sister, you been drinking today? Bingo, you been drinking today? That's fine. You can sit and listen. Hope you sober up. Get sober. Hope you sober up. But yeah. Let me get oh, could you read it in minutes? All right. So read this part. Actually, no. Let me just bump it up. Let me get drop that. Let me get Acts 11 and 26. And let me get Acts 13 and 1. Let me get that in the blue letter. Got it?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him.
Hold on. Hey, brothers, can I ask you a question real quick? Can you show me black history beyond slavery?
Black history beyond slavery?
Beyond slavery.
I mean, just talking about textbook-wise?
I mean, in general. I mean, and the thing about it is, you can't really blanket all of Africa because we're not all the same people, right? So I'm talking about specifically the slaves who were brought over here to the Americas, North, South America, and the Caribbean. Can you show us our history before slavery?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what our history was.
Couldn't tell us, right?
No.
Any idea why that is?
We were never even it was never even brought up to her.
Never brought up.
I can't say my household, we never brought that up that wasn't our intention. That wasn't the intention of us growing up.
But why not? You any idea why not?
Maybe because our ancestors didn't even believe in, or maybe our ancestors forgot to tell us stories about how we was before. Maybe it was lost during the time. I couldn't tell. I just know it was never brought up in my household.
I can tell you why that information wasn't passed down. Because they beat it out of us. They murdered our ancestors. When we tried to do anything resembling our culture, we get beat, we get struck, we get lynched. Right? You ever see that movie Birth of a Nation?
Yeah.
Right? Like the new one, right? With Nat Turner, right? When Nat was when Nat was learning to read and the slave master's wives, Nat learned how to read and his mom shut that down.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Whenever we do whenever we did anything like that, resembling what they refer to as African savage culture, anytime we did anything like that, they beat it out of us. Got it? Check this out, brother. Let me read this. So let me read the scripture for you.
This is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Right? So what we preach up here is that the Bible is our history books. It's the history of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right? That's our history book. That's who we identify as a people. You want to know about black history before slavery, it's all right here in this Bible. Right? So we letting you know that you're an Israelite. But in this Bible, just said that we was going to discontinue from our heritage. Right? It just said discontinue our culture, right? From our social, from our ethnicity, right?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
That sound like what we went through? Yeah. We discontinued from our heritage. We served the enemies in a strange and foreign land. That sound like what we went through, right? Sound like your story, doesn't it? That's why we tell them, man. The Bible, that's black history. That's black history. Pre-slavery. Everything you want to know about your people, man, can be found right here. All our traditions. Why we move the way we move. Why we talk the way we talk. The spirit that we have on each other, right? Yeah. You see, like this right here, right? You see all this? This is what we went through. And the Bible talks about this stuff. All this stuff that we went through right here, man. Jim Crow, slavery, right? All this stuff, man. Even today, the Bible talks about all this stuff, right? You got one? Let me get 68. Let me get 68. Yeah, let me just get 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right. So you know about the story of Moses, right? When he went up to Pharaoh, he said, "Let my people go." Right. So what were the Israelites doing in Egypt? You remember what the Israelites were doing? Why would he go up to Pharaoh and say, "Let my people go"?
Because of unfair treatment.
Because of unfair treatment? You see, like, would he say like something like slavery, maybe?
Definitely slavery.
Slavery, right? So, that's a fact. So the Most High God said we was gonna get brought into slavery again by ship.
He already knew what was going to happen.
He already knew. Yeah, I mean, it's the Most High God.
He knew the trials and tribulations we were going through.
Yeah, he knew the most High God, man. He knew it all, right? But it's all due to the fact that we discontinued from our heritage. Right? He said it was going to happen, but not only did he say it was going to happen, we ourselves turned away from it. Right? Because you'll be surprised. See how you're sitting here pondering this new information that I'm telling you, right? I can't tell you how many brothers and sisters come up to us and we tell them that they're a child of Israel, that this is their book, and they just scope at it and keep moving.
Right.
They don't care about their culture. They don't care about their heritage. And the Most High said, because of that, you're going to forget about it, you're going to serve your enemies, and you're going to get put on a ship and brought into slavery.
Right.
Right? Continue, finish that up.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
So when we got off those ships, who were we sold to?
We sold to our enemies, those that was already willing to actually do evil and militant to us.
So who were they though? We got off those ships. We was over in Africa, minding our own business. We got put on the ship. We got brought over here, and then who did we get sold to?
Same people that rule the world today.
So who's that? Right.
That's white people.
That's white people. That's white people. You know what's crazy? When we ask people this, man, you have any idea how hard it is to? We gotta. It's like pulling teeth to get our people to say white people.
I can understand that.
It's like pulling teeth, man.
I mean, there's quite a few that disagree, but still put themselves in that category when it's not a specified type of accusation or even fact that we're throwing their way. It's really more of the lines of just saying, this is what your ancestors did to us.
Right. We're
not saying you're part of it, but that is your ancestors. That's part of your story. That's when you open that book. Yeah. You knew what your people did.
Right. But you know what's crazy though? Even though that so-called slavery is over with, right? We're no longer in chains and shackles. We're actually getting paid for our work. They're still part of it, right? Oh, yeah, because if I come to your house, set up shop, and my children live there, their children live there, their children live there, they're part of the oppression, right? Even though they're not. Hey, man, your children, my children, they get along fine, but my children are part of the oppression of your children, right? You gotta be said.
This is Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Right, we're robbed and spoiled, right? Robbed and spoiled. We ain't got no heritage. Like you said, you can't tell us who we are beyond slavery before you came up here, right? We were robbed of our essentials, right? We were robbed of our essentials. We were spoiled rotten from what they did to us, right?
They are all of them snared in holes.
Right? So so when it says snared in holes, what do you think? What does that kind of sound like?
Like everybody was captured.
like captured, right? So what do you, like a trap, right?
Definitely.
Trap houses, right? You listen to trap music, right? Don't nobody else propagate trap music but us. And then when people who aren't us try to propagate trap music, it don't sound. They can't do it right.
They understand the definition of what it is.
Yeah, they can't do it right because they're not living that life. Because nobody, right? Yeah, nobody's gone through what we went through as a people, right? The reason, even though we look different, we can stand up here. I can say these are my brothers because our people went through the same thing that they went through.
Right.
Right? Because like when you look at where is it? You see these brothers right here, right? What would you say? What would you say their ethnicity are? You say they black?
I wouldn't say black.
You wouldn't say black. What would you say they are? The Indian? It's the same thing. These brothers is Mexican, so-called Mexican, Bill, right? So they went through the same thing that we went through. They was being hung, they was being lynched, right? Castrated, chased after by the white man. So went through the same thing, right? You say what? Malcolm X said we landed on Plymouth Rock, or Plymouth Rock landed on us. Landed on them too,
And they are hid in prison houses.
right? See, I see that. That struck a chord with you right there.
Upset on that
That
part.
struck a chord with you right there.
Like we Bristolians say less on that.
Right.
We already know we
Yeah.
was already bound for that. That was
Right?
already written down.
What
They
I
said there
think?
was too many of us. They felt that because we was actually go ahead and find out a little bit of our truth, a little bit of who we are, and we started acting that way. They decided to go ahead and program this as to make us a lockdown facility to where they can reprogram us in a way so they feel that we're correctioned
Exactly.
in this world. It's bullshit. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, yeah, man. See that, but that's what it is. The morning. Yeah.
They are for a prey, and none deliver it.
Right. Yeah. So it says therefore pray, man. You know, you ever wonder why? You know, that our neighborhoods are more policed than any other neighborhood.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
They're already prejudiced about what we can do.
Yeah, because they're preying upon
To
us.
be honest, they're preying upon us because they're scared of us.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
They know that
I
we've
agree
been
with that.
revered. They know how we was revered back in the day.
I agree with that. Right? You see this right here, right? We're not posing any threat to anybody. We're not violent or anything like that. But this is the scariest thing. This is the scariest thing to a white man. Right? Oh, right. And because of this, you know, because of this this awakening that we're having, because I don't really want to call it a movement, but because you got our people being awake to who we are, we're on the government watch list, man. We getting called terrorists. We get called terrorists. All we doing is coming out telling blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that the children of Israel and that the Most High's got a judgment for the white people for putting their hands on them.
I'm considered a terrorist for my singing, then I'll be happy to terrorize all down world. That's the case.
Hey, man, we're a terror because we're educating our people. Right? Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Right? So we act righteous. We start following our laws. We get back to our culture. We stand in righteousness. And man, because of that, we know we're right. So we stand in boldness, man. Can't nobody stop this awakening from happening, right? Because we know for a fact that it's true.
Stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Right?
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Right? So when they see us getting saved out of here, because when you look at these churches, man, they say, go to these churches, they'll tell you salvation for everybody, right? Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Anybody, all you got to do is believe and you can get saved, right? But man, we got news for you, man. This place is going to get destroyed.
Right.
Right? This is going to get destroyed. And the only people who's going to get saved are the people who are the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that return to this culture.
That's right.
So when they see us getting saved, they're going to look with fear.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say with themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach.
Right? All they do is talk down on us. Black people, Latinos. What was it? I think it was a few years ago when Donald Trump was saying, in so many words, he said that the Latino or Mexican brothers are criminals and drug dealers and rapists, right? That's exactly what he said, right? Putting us into a bad light, right? Read that last part again. Read that last part again, right?
I think it was up here, verse 3.
Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Right? This is the same guy. This is the same guy we had as a reproach. Right? This is the same guy we was talking down on. Right?
We fools accounted his life madness.
Right? It's madness. Right? When you look at what blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are going through, man, it's depressing. Right? It's depressing.
And his end to be without honor.
Right? We ain't got no honor. We kill. They're setting it up so we killing each other. You got we're leading the charge in fatherless homes. It's just like damn near every negative category in America, right? We're leading the charge.
How is he numbered among the children of God?
Right? How can these people be numbered among the children of God? Right? You see what these people do? How can they be godly? Right? Truth of the matter is they are. Right? We are. Because it's like we got this saying, about the crabs in the bucket, right? How they keep each other down and fight each other, right? But the question is, who put the crabs in the bucket in the first place? Somebody did, right? So they put the crabs in the bucket. They watch the crabs fight each other. Then they say, look, man, the crabs is wicked. They're evil, right?
How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of the truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the Son of righteousness rose not upon us.
Right? So man, they know they're not righteous. Right? As a matter of fact, man, there's a part in the Bible. Let me get Judith 5. I think it's like 5 and 17. Right? They talk about they talk about us being doing all the wickedness, right? Right? You got that? Yeah. So and the whole reason is the reason we're in this situation is, like I said, because we fell away from our heritage, our culture, right? And when when you fall away from your culture and stop caring about who you are and the struggles that your forefathers went through, man, you fall for anything, right? Because you got no foundation, right? You building your own foundation when you already got a foundation that was laid for you. You just got to take hold of it, right? So check this out.
This is Judith 5 and 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them.
Right? So it said, you see that? When we do good, man, we prosper. The God that hates iniquity, the God that hates the sin, the God that wants us to keep our culture, man. Hold on, now read the next one. He's with us, man. Can't nobody stop us. Man, when you read this book, you hear about the wars that we fought, man. There's like thousands of people, tens of thousands of people being murdered by our army. Right? When you look at the book, the book of Joshua, right? You had whole towns being evacuated simply due to the fact that they heard we were coming.
I'm familiar with that book.
Right? They just heard we wasn't even going that way. We were going this way. They heard we were going that way, and the whole town empties out. Right? Because we do what we need to do. Right? You got the next one?
18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them,
right? But when we leave our culture, when we leave our heritage, right?
They were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
Right? Then we get our ass kicked. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Right?
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
Right? So our houses get taken, our cities get taken, our children go into captivity. Right? All because we fall away from our culture. All because we've turned our back on the Most High, on the God that loves us. Right? On the God that brought us out of Egypt. Right? That's the whole thing. So we just got to get back to following our laws. Right. Get back to following. Man, I'm sure you got a Bible somewhere in your family. I know for a fact you have a Bible. So your mom, your grandmother, somebody got a Bible. I know somebody got a Bible in your family.
Yeah, I got a Quran sitting right in my bag.
Oh, you get rid of that Quran.
That's right.
I don't, but I like to study.
I mean,
the study everybody's different. The study the different ways that everybody speak about how our people was either misused, mistreated, or misguided it's something that I dedicated myself to do every single day.
Well, I mean, but the Quran. But what does the Quran say about how we were mistreated?
Well, we being oppressed, we should always stand up and fight. That's what it does to me. I can tell you that just by reading. I didn't read it 3 different times. But it also, when you fight, though, you have to fight with a sort of a typical humbleness. But the thing that we never learned no humbleness growing up in our household.
Well,
So, in a sense, and this is only from what I take, not from nobody else. There's no one else teaching, no one ever sitting down with me and none of that. What I'm saying is, from what I read and what I learned for myself, is that if I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna battle for my own teachings that I was supposed to learn way back in the day, that was never ever either given or washed down, I can't battle with a menace of a heart. I gotta still battle with some type of humbleness, and I haven't yet learned that yet.
so what does the Quran teach you about you and your people?
Now, we was mistreated like there was no other. That nobody, that really, to be honest, what it teach me is that they didn't care about nothing but us, but our hard work and our living, and they didn't have to do that.
But it doesn't tell you anything about your culture.
It don't tell you, no, it don't. It does not tell you about my culture.
I mean,
It didn't tell me about the oppression that a lot of my people went through.
but the Bible says that too, though.
But that Bible that should clarify a little bit more. But what's the difference? Because one clarified more than the other one?
Absolutely, because the Bible was written by our ancestors.
All
The
right,
Quran was not.
but that means does that mean that the Quran is just nowhere to be, and you can't even learn from it?
Well, I mean, why would you? Well, how can you learn from something? How can you learn from something that wasn't for you?
The same way I can learn from something from you that may not be for me or for my little brother.
Well, but I'm
learning.
But here's the thing, though. This Bible was written by your ancestors. That's like if your father writes a book, like in the book of Sirach, right? In the book of Sirach, it's talking about this is a wisdom. It's the writings passed down from a grandfather to a father to his son. Right? That's what the Bible is. Right? That's what the Bible is. It's passed down from our ancestors for your betterment. The Quran was passed down from a different people's ancestors. They may talk a little bit about you, but they're not talking to you. Right? You got it? Hey, man, bring it up.
Sirach chapter 30 from the top. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod.
Right? So, man, you get chastisement. You get chastised when you love your son, right? You discipline, right? Correction, right?
That he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastiseth not his son, but he that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Right? So when you teach your son about your culture, about your history, right? About how you should operate as a people, about how you should operate amongst your brothers, it grieves the enemy, right? Because you get all these white people, man. They ain't got no problem with you learning the Quran. They ain't got no problem with you coming out saying you a Muslim, right? But when you come out here, you say you an Israelite, you get put on the terrorist watch list.
That's right.
Right? I come out. I say Kanye West, right? Kanye West. He came out. He said, "I'm a Jew. They're Jewish." That's hate speech.
What about Kyrie? Kyrie said he went on a Ramadan fast. They didn't say nothing about that. As soon as he posted a link to Hebrews and Negroes about being Jews, oh yeah, this dude is anti-Semitic.
Right? As soon as
Get him off the team.
Right?
Why is that though?
As soon as he declared himself an Israelite.
He's praying on the court.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
I don't know the difference.
But he didn't get chastised for saying he was a Muslim.
How do you know?
Because he did.
What happened? He posted it on Twitter.
He was
posted
right.
it later.
How do you know that underline he hasn't been chastised?
Because
Is he
he was still
media?
playing.
It's in the media.
Yeah, he was still.
Media don't always tell you.
That's true.
Yeah, when he was.
It's coming from an R&B artist, I can tell you, they don't tell you everything.
I believe that 100%.
But at the end of the
But
day,
they steer the narrative, though.
all this is what I'm hearing for today. And just to end this, I do have to go meet with my cousin. I ain't gonna lie to you, I have to. But to hear all the learning and the teachings I'm hearing today, these are the things that I dedicated my life to learn. I want to learn what my ancestors said before. What I want to learn why is it that they differentiate a black man from being a Muslim from an Israelite. These are things that I want to learn, literally. I mean, I have to go see my cousin, and I do appreciate the blessing that you give me this knowledge. And I will take this far deep into my brain really think about this. I'm hoping that I see y'all again, right?
Oh, yeah, we all here every Saturday, right?
Oh, but that's good. Next Saturday we can have a really good battle of mine. I would like that.
Hold on. I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read something out of the Quran real quick.
This is Surah chapter 5, verse 51. O you who have believed, do not take the Jews and the Christians as allies.
Right? So don't take the Jews as Christian as allies. But we're telling you you're a Jew, though.
That's right.
I'm telling you right now, you're a Jew. The Jew that the Quran is talking about is you.
And not only that, it calls them right there in the Arabic kafir, meaning unbelievers. So if you don't believe in Islam, you're pretty much an enemy to them.
They say you're a kafir, man.
I don't think so.
But
That's what the book says.
that's what the
Because
book says.
I don't get down on my hands and knees to do a rock every day.
But I'm just saying.
We're talking
that-
about there. If
Yeah.
let's just say
I know.
you
That's
bet-
just the
I'm telling
information
you.
in the
I'm
Quran.
actually really telling you from the Quran, as the Quran is. I don't do that every
Yeah,
day.
you got more than that?
I feel the teaching. I like the teaching.
But
I like to know
it's
why
teaching-
do they feel that
but it's
they can
teaching
say they don't want no one to associate with me if I'm a Jew.
Yeah, but it's teaching you to hate your people.
No, the Muslims are supposed to associate with you.
Right. But that's
Believers in the Quran are supposed
yeah,
to associate
that's what the
with
Quran is teaching you to hate your
you. Or
people.
Christian. That's what it says.
Yeah.
I showed they must have missed that teaching with me because I for sure don't learn that. I love my people to the fullest.
But that's what
But
I'm saying.
I also, like I said, I extend my brain to learning.
But I mean,
I may have took my shahada, don't get it twisted. I for surely have. But just because
You
I took my
have?
shahada, oh yes, I have. But do not believe in one instance that I'm gonna treat any one of y'all differently. That's not what I've ever learned in my life.
And that's the thing about the Shahada, man. So, like, you know, what's the English translation of Shahada?
I don't know. Please tell me, brother.
The English translation is there's only one God, and Allah's God, and Muhammad is his prophet, right? But in the Arabic, it doesn't say it doesn't call him a prophet. It just calls him a messenger. And there's a reason why it just calls him a messenger, because Muhammad is not a prophet. In fact, the Quran cancels him out and disqualifies him from being a prophet in his own book.
Yeah, the Prophet Muhammad did get. Yeah, he did. He did get disclaimed. And
Right?
he got turned into a messenger.
The book itself disqualifies him from being a prophet, right? Because it says, as a matter of fact, give me Surah.
This is Surah 45 and 16. Indeed, we endow the children of Israel with the book and wisdom.
You said in the Quran, it said we endowed the children of Israel with the book and the wisdom, read,
And prophethood.
and prophethood. And in the Arabic right there, it doesn't say Nabi, which means a prophet. In the Arabic, it says Nabuah, which means prophethood. Muhammad is not of the children of Israel. Muhammad is an Ishmaelite from the Quraysh tribe in Saudi Arabia. So this just one verse right there pretty much cuts his own self. You know what I mean? And we can go on surah after ayat after ayat, verses after verses. There's so many inconsistencies in the Bible, man. I mean, it's like in the Quran, and what they're trying to say is to scrutinize the Bible that way. Let's scrutinize the Quran the same way that they scrutinize the Bible. Their book doesn't hold. Their book don't hold no water. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I like to learn.
Yeah.
Learn. That's what I was put here in this world. I'm here to learn, and if I sing it, I'm gonna sing it to where you understand it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my problem. That's what I do.
That's good though. That's good. That's
What
good.
you guys have is an ultimate knowledge to give to somebody I can never do.
I mean, you never know that,
Build
man.
yourself up to that.
Oh, believe me, I couldn't do that with you. I would love to just learn. I'm just being honest with you. I don't even teach this nigga nothing. At all.
I mean, honestly,
I'm just being honest. Do I teach anything? No, I tell you, you're going to learn how to do it by yourself, right? I'm just being honest.
you can point them in the right direction. You know what I mean?
I try.
Kind of like what we doing. You know what I mean? So
But
I
no,
can tell you
but,
plenty of books to look up.
All
you know?
bullshit aside, though, really. I do understand that there are a lot of contradictions within the Quran. Understand that. And it's hard for a lot of, well, I'm going to say for myself, it took me a while to kind of actually look at that and actually be a man and say, yo, Imam, I think something's kind of wrong with this, because it don't make no sense of why they're actually being contradictory with this, if this is what you're trying to teach. So instead of me going into the mosque like I'm supposed to, I stopped and I wanted to learn. I wanted to see exactly who is really telling the truth in this whole situation.
Hold on, what did the Imam say?
The Imam told me, he said that I think I must be trying to read way too in-depth into it. And he also told me that he think Shaitan got a heart in my soul.
It's always Shaitan.
Whoa.
But you know what I
It's
told
always
him?
Shaitan.
You know what I told him?
It's always Shaitan.
No, you know what I told him? I told this to many people, and I still hold this true today. This is not to start an argument, not to start a debate. But I said this, I said, everybody wants to talk so bad about Shaitan. But no one understands that, is he not the son? Was he not basically considered a child by the big man himself? And because he got cast down,
He's a worker.
he got cast down
Oh, no.
by the big man upstairs
That's not.
because of what? No?
That's Christianity.
No, but yeah, but
Whether it's
Islam
Christianity or
believe the
not.
same thing, though.
But here it is. He got cast down from the heavens because he didn't follow a simple guideline or directive of our Heavenly Father, our big man upstairs.
In the Quran,
But
in the
here
Quran,
it is.
believes something
Here's
similar.
my belief. I said, you want to know what? Shaitan can do just as much as bad as the big man up there if he didn't like anything that's going on.
But the thing is,
So, basically,
there's no bad in the Most High. It's righteousness in the Most High and
I
true
believe
judgment.
It's a father and a son arguing between a world that they both want to actually try to have some type of, some big man is supposed to be his.
But
Supposed to
in
be his.
Islam,
But I'm just telling you, that's why I said. That's me. They just arguing up there.
In the
They're
Quran
arguing.
and Islam, they believe Allah had no children. So what you probably
That's true.
meaning,
They had no
what you're meaning,
He's an angel.
he's an angel. He's an agent of the Most High. And
Agent, advocate, if he's even just the secretary.
He works for the Most High.
he works for the Most High.
Here we go. He's arguing with some that's beneath him. They're both arguing over nothing.
In Islam, they believe that
We have the freedom of agency,
Iblis, Iblis, which is Satan, right?
Yeah.
He didn't follow instructions when Allah told him bow down to Adam. And then Satan was like, no, why would I bow down to this person made out of mud and soil?
Because he felt that none of us,
Right.
He felt like none of us was even equal to him. But we're like, as you said, torn from mud. We are gold, inhabiting an actual beautiful essence within inside of us. To protect that essence inside of us, and he just wanted that one person, that one entity, to show this other entity that's been created from clay and mud that it's okay to be equal. He didn't believe that.
When the Sufis in Islam, they believe something even deeper. It's like, whose fault was that? Because Allah made Iblis, which is Satan. He designed them to bow down to nobody but him. So I mean, this is a thing. This is where the whole contradiction is at. The Bible doesn't teach none of this
I tell
madness.
like this,
Right?
Overall, all they gotta do is sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Then I bet you see how better the world turns around.
Who, Satan and God
I
talk?
guarantee you.
They do talk. Watch this. Go to Job.
This is Job chapter 1 verse 6.
I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I said it. Look what happens though. What did it say?
This is Job 1 and 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job,
Have you seen my servant Job? Read.
that there is none like him in the earth,
There's nobody on the earth like this man, but Job. Read.
a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught?
Does he fear God for nothing? Read.
Verse 10. Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
Because you gave him everything. He goes, you gave him everything, right? He's
untouchable.
spoiled.
You put a
He's
hedge around him.
spoiled. Read.
Verse 11. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
And he said, I bet you if you take everything from him, you didn't touch him or put some kind of sour times upon him, he'll even curse you to your face. Read.
Verse 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand.
Go do what you do, Satan. Let's see if it's true. And if you keep it in the book, he lost almost everything. He lost his children, his wife, everything. No, he kept his wife. His wife lived. All his children died and everything, right? But the Most High replenished everything. He gave him almost 100-fold. He gave him more children and everything. Read.
So wait a minute. This is just an example that shows Satan works for the Most High.
He's an agent.
Satan
of
allows
God.
the Most High allows Satan to go over there and afflict them for a little bit.
You still don't see the antagonistic in that.
What's that?
There's still antagonism in it. There's still that antagonizing sentence that God is telling him. And he read over it. You read right over it.
Which part?
It was the beginning part when he was basically telling him, like, yeah, I have given him everything. But he is the only person I believe is one that's better than anybody. Have you seen him? That's what he's saying. Like, basically, like, I don't care. He basically is like telling him, like, he's better than you. That's what he's basically telling him. In a sense, and that's a trigger. I tell you, it's a lot. As I said, this was not to go into the debate or
No,
I'm already. I'm couldn't cuss me out.
That's an understanding.
No, every big understand, but like I said, next Saturday we're gonna have to battle the minds again.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more reading now because I ain't never been this street in my life, man. I'm trying to tell you. I love y'all, brother.
All right, brother.
Thank you. All praise to the Most High.
Shalom, bro.
Y'all be safe, man. We out here every Saturday, 3 p.m.
See y'all soon.
All right. Yep. You got any precepts? You got any precepts? All right, well, with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. In the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh, say Shalom.
My nigga Delta in the box.